Alaska, the last frontier, home to snow-covered peaks, frozen forests, and a silence so deep it feels like the world forgot to make noise. But what if that silence is hiding something? Tonight, we're unraveling one of the strangest, most chilling unsolved cases in American history. A case so bizarre, so unsettling, that even skeptics find themselves saying, okay, that's weird. It all begins in an abandoned Alaskan town. Footprints that appear out of nowhere and vanish just as mysteriously. A missing hunter in 1983 whose body was never found, and the creature that may be behind it all, the Nantiinaq. So get comfortable, but not too comfortable. And if you're watching this at night, maybe leave a light on, because this is Alaska's paranormal case from 1983 we still can't explain. The setting and strange history of Portlock. Let's start with the town itself, Portlock, Alaska. Now, if you pull up Google Maps to try to find it, you'll just see dense forest, rocky cliffs, and ocean inlets. But 100 years ago, this was a booming fishing village. Back in the early 1900s, Portlock thrived thanks to a bustling salmon cannery. Workers from all over, native Alaskans, Russians, Americans, lived there peacefully until something changed. Starting in the late 1930s, people began to disappear. Not run away. Vanish. Fishermen would go into the woods to chop wood or check traps and never return. One man's body was found crushed, like something had smashed his spine against a tree. Another was discovered floating face down in the river with massive gashes across his back, deep and wide, as if clawed by something not natural. And here's where things get even creepier. Small Blue Diamond locals started reporting giant footprints in the mud. Small Blue Diamond night screams echoed from the forest, so loud they could be heard from miles away. Small Blue Diamond tools and gear would go missing, and people felt watched. Constantly. Eventually, in the 1950s, the entire population fled. Abandoned homes. Abandoned church. The whole community said, nope, we're out. And they never came back. Let me ask you something. What would it take for you to abandon your home, your business, your community, and never return? Whatever was out there, it terrified them enough to disappear without looking back. The 1983 expedition, fast forward to 1983. Portlock has been abandoned for over 30 years. And that's when a group of outdoorsmen, some say they were hunters, others say researchers, decided to check it out. Now, let's be real for a second. Who decides to explore an abandoned, allegedly cursed town in the middle of nowhere? Horror movie fans? Thrill seekers? Maybe people who don't believe in folklore until it's too late. The group, about 6 men, landed by boat, set up camp near the remains of the old cannery, and began surveying the area. At first, everything seemed fine, quiet, peaceful even. But then, just like the stories from the past, strange things started happening. Small Blue Diamond, one man, woke up to find deep scratches on his tent. Small Blue Diamond, another, said he heard heavy breathing right outside while he tried to sleep. Small Blue Diamond, their gear was moved. Not taken, just relocated, like someone or something was toying with them. The moment that really turned things upside down was when they discovered the footprints. And listen, these weren't your standard bear tracks. We're talking 18-inch long, bare footprints pressed deep into the soil. The stride was massive, like whatever left them was easily over 7 feet tall. They followed the tracks for miles until they just stopped. No turn, no drag marks, just one final footprint and then nothing. How does something vanish mid-step? Eyes. Quick question to the viewers. If you came across giant footprints in the woods, would you follow them or run the other way? Let me know in the comments.
The vanishing of Odev. Oh, now let's talk about the moment that transformed this from spooky legend to paranormal case. Let's call him Dev. He was one of the men on the 1983 expedition, and by all accounts, he was the most experienced, skilled hunter, survivalist. The kind of guy you want on your team. One morning, Dev didn't show up for breakfast. At first, the team thought he'd gone off to scout an area. But hours passed. No sign. They searched for him and found something that still gives people nightmares. His tent was slashed open from the inside. His boots were still there. His weapon untouched. Outside the tent, deep claw marks in a nearby tree and a patch of disturbed moss that looked like something had been dragged. No blood. No footprints. No signs of struggle. It was as if he'd been lifted off the ground and carried away. The search went on for over a week. Helicopters, thermal cameras, dogs. Nothing. Not a shred of evidence. Not a torn piece of clothing. Not a hair. Gone. And here's the kicker. To this day, Dev's body has never been recovered. No official explanation was given. Just a line in the final report that said, "Presumed lost to the elements." Really? Because experienced woodsmen don't just vanish without a trace, you tell me, was Dev taken by nature? Or something else? The legend of now. Let's dig into the legend at the center of all this. According to native folklore, there is a forest guardian, that watches over the land and punishes intruders. But this isn't your typical Bigfoot. No. Is aggressive. Territorial. Vengeful. Descriptions vary, but common traits include towering height, 7 to 10 feet tall. Massive strength, capable of snapping bones like twigs. Glowing red eyes. And the ability to vanish or blend into its surroundings. You ever hear of the Wendigo? The Skinwalker? The Slenderman myth? The feels like Alaska's version. And it predates American settlement by centuries. Here's a. In the 1800s, Russian explorers documented strange figures in the Alaskan woods that moved with unnatural speed and left behind print. Coincidence? Or early sightings? Modern sightings take troubles. Even in recent years, the weirdness hasn't stopped. In 2020, a drone explorer claimed his drone froze while flying over Portlock before being smacked to the ground. When he recovered the footage, the last frame showed a blurry shadow with 2 glowing eyes staring at the camera. In 2022, a group of researchers set up cameras near the tree line. They caught something. A massive figure. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't a man. And get this. All electronic devices began malfunctioning within a mile radius of the original canary site. Phones drained instantly. Compasses span. Radios picked up static whispers. What kind of creature messes with electronics? Or could it be something even more bizarre? Could it be extraterrestrial? A government experiment that escaped? Or are we dealing with something? Closing thoughts questions. So let's recap. We have an abandoned town with a violent history, an expedition gone wrong, a vanishing man, a legend of a predator that's not quite man, and no answers. Not when. Even today, Portlock remains to most people. Locals won't go. Hunters avoid it. And yet the legend continues to grow. Why? Because deep down, we know, some stories are too consistent to be fake. Too many people. Too many cultures. Too many witnesses saying the same thing. So here's the big question. What is the? Is it real? Is it guarding something? Is it still out there? And would you ever dare spend a night in Portlock? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your theories. Do you think this is all folklore, or are there things in this world that science just isn't ready to explain? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because we're diving even deeper into the world's most terrifying mysteries next time. Until then, stay safe and stay out of the woods.